Hello and welcome back to another tutorial. As always, we have something really exciting for you today. This new update allows us to add our own voice lines and some really basic lip syncing as well. And so this is also really exciting because this is the first update where we genuinely have added something new to the toolkit, something that was not there before in order to make the workflow easier. So as always, please check out our Discord in order to find the latest download for Moon Glasses, which is what we're calling this project. And a big thanks to Sigfree and Frizzy and others, moderators and such that helped with this release. But then a big thanks to Fetish, who is the developer who developed pretty much everything that you're going to see in today's video. So we are going to start like we have before. We're just going to add a root template. We'll add a guard, drag it onto our map, have him face us here, and we'll call him guard. Super creative. Then we're going to add some dialogue to guard. We're just going to say, hello there, weary traveler. Save that. And we're just going to add a really simple hey back from the player. We'll set this as an end node. Actually, yeah, we're going to set this as an end node. We're going to keep this nice, short, and sweet today. Under speakers, we're going to set our speaker groups. We need to find our guard that we just added as one of the speaker groups. We'll set group players as the other one. And then we're going to save this. Call this guard. Next, we will do tools, timeline, generate full copper. This should look familiar. We want to make sure our module is set to our current mod, and then we can just next through all of this stuff. We are going to uncheck open timeline after generation. We actually really don't need it because we're not going to add much of a timeline here. We've already covered that. So now we're going to save, and let's just make sure that our guard's dialogue works. So let's do default dialogue, and then we'll set this to guard. Probably could have named that something a little bit better, but that's okay. We will save all, reload, and test here. Okay, let's play test that. Okay, hello there, weary traveler. Hey, perfect. All right, next step. You need to download a tool called Wwise. I will leave the link in the description. This is a tool that is paid except for if you're using it on their trial basis, which we can because we are using less than, I believe it's 200 assets. And so you need to go ahead and install that tool and launch it. I trust if you've made it this far, you can do those things without me leading you through it. One thing I will note, I know this was important in Divinity. I don't know whether it is important in Baldur's Gate, and so I'm going to have you go ahead and let me know in the comments, maybe try it. When you install or when you start your project, I know for Divinity you needed this version 2016.2.6. I am going to camp out in this version just because I've tested it and I know it works. You are welcome to try another version, but if it doesn't work, go ahead and just set it to that. So the other thing that we're going to need is some sort of voice recording. So for me, I just went over to Audacity and I just recorded myself in my cheap little headset saying, oops, maybe. Why, hello there, weary traveler. There we go. And something that needs to be noted is if you're going to record this in Audacity, when you do export, you need to export it with these exact settings. Stereo, 48,000, signed 16-bit PCM. Those are what you need to do. So after you've exported it, we can go ahead and we can launch our Wwise, and we can go over to project settings, and then over to sound banks, and we want to make sure that we have these three things checked here first. The next place we need to go is share sets, and then conversion settings, default conversion settings, and we need to change this to Vorbis, and that should be good. I think you can increase this quality even if you want to make it a little bit higher quality. Next, we'll head over to sound banks and just create a child sound bank. I'm just going to call this flow. Audio, under this default work unit, we're going to press import audio files. And then we are going to drag and drop the file that we want to import here. I called mine signed 16-bit stereo just to remind us that that's what we needed to import it as. Then we'll press import. If you expand this and double click this, you should be able to press play down here and hear yourself. If you do not hear your file, that means that it did not get imported successfully. The next thing we are going to do is right click this and press convert, and then press OK. After that's done, we'll go over here, right click and press open containing folder on one of these. And the file is going to be found in your folders under Wwise projects, then the name of your project, and then .cache, and then Windows, SFX, and then we find the name of our WEM file. So you are going to take this .wem file and you are going to place it somewhere in your Baldur's Gate data, mods, and then your mod folder, similar to how we've done with other files. Back in the game, we're going to open up our conversation file. We're going to double click on this node here, and you'll notice a new button that Fetish has added called Add Voice. We're going to click that, select speaker, OK. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to hit create because our sound bank does not exist. Now that we've done that, we have some options. So these are the different things that we can put in here. And these are found in your packed files that come with the game. And so unfortunately, I cannot provide these files in the YouTube because we really are committing to not publish any Larian files. So what you'll want to do, this is only if you want to get lip syncing and kind of the facial animations working, by the way. If you just want to get voice, you can skip what I'm saying. But you need to find a way to unpack the files. And I covered that in the original dialogue tutorial. That's a little bit outdated, but that part is still really useful. But I will also link to one of those tools in the description of this YouTube video. And I would suggest, here's what I would do. I would unpack all of the packs in the data folder, and then I would search on Windows asterisk, which is a wild card, and then let me just see what type this is, for example. So this one needs a FFX actor. I would go to my packed files, and I would just type this in. And I would just use one of those in here. These are just defaults, so the lip syncing will not match perfectly, but the idea here is just to get kind of close. So I am just going to link the ones that I have already put in the folder. Again, this is not necessary if you just want to get the voice working, but if you do want to get some of the things working for lip syncing, you will need to unpack your .pack files in Baldur's Gate data, find something along these lines, and then put them in here. It works better if you use a set, like I'm using Asterion. However, you don't need to. it will just make like the facial animation match with the lip syncing a lot better. Default voice line, this part doesn't matter too much, but we are going to put in the file for the voice that we want, and then we're going to hit next. And this is the voice file that we want for this line. So we'll just hit that, and then we'll press OK. Then it will say voice added, number of voices 1. Now, if I wanted to add another voice file, I'd go through that same process again. I would go to my new node. So, let's pretend that I'm on a new node. I know that this is the same node. But I'd go back, I'd press add voice, I'd press OK, I'd keep this one the same, and then I would put my new voice under select voice file. So, one of the things we have to do the first time we add a .wem file to a node, we need to save it, and then we actually need to restart the whole editor. This is one of the limitations of the editor. It's a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and reload the editor now. All right, we are back in the engine. We have everything linked up. I'll just go ahead and click this. Oops, I had already started the dialogue there. Let me press it though. All right, so you can see we have voice acting working. Did he move his lips at all? I'm wondering if this model is not set up for facial animations. Yeah, that appeared to be the problem. That guard must not have any facial animation set up, because when I went through the same exact process with this merchant, you can see we have no problems. So this is just the beginning. This is the first release of the voice animation or the voice acting and facial animation tools. So we are really excited to see what you can come up with all of this. We have had a large number of people volunteer to do voice acting in our community, so feel free to join the Discord and look for those. And yeah, have a great one. We will see you next time.